Hi everybody, I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and I'm going to show you a couple of strategies when it comes to potted plants, house plants inside or potted plants that are outside. What are a couple of different strategies to be able to tell when your plant needs water? So happy summer. Thanks for the patience while I've been on radio silence. I've gotten another teacher certification. We've been doing repairs on the house. We've been traveling, but you can see these are a whole bunch of cuttings and props that I have planted. These are all from mother plants that I have, and you will see that Real Simple Mama's Etsy shop for plants, the leafy cat plants, will be open later in 2026 when it's not so hot. But right now, while I've got all of these guys, I wanted to show you a couple of different ways. How can I tell if my plant needs water? The first thing I'll tell you is that for most plants, less water is better than too much. The number one reason, in my opinion, that people kill houseplants is because they water too often. So when in doubt, just wait another day or two. The next thing is, the quantity of water doesn't really matter. It's more how often you water it. So when you're going to be watering your plants, don't worry about like, oh no, I was supposed to give them half a cup, but I accidentally gave them 3/4 of a cup. That doesn't really matter as much. It's how frequently the soil is getting wet and then getting a chance to dry out. Lastly, I'll show you some of these different samples of plants that I've got here. A lot of them are pothos or philodendron or most of the things I have here. But of course, if it's an expensive or rare house plant, or if you're just not sure, I mean, doing a quick search online is going to give you feedback as far as like, is this a tropical plant? If so, it probably likes higher humidity and it likes its soil and its roots to stay more wet, as opposed to if it's a drier climate, it's more of a desert plant or Texas superstar, for example, in which case it's fine being drier for longer. So, spoiler alert, the easiest way to tell if your plant needs water on a potted plant, if you're able to lift it, is literally just to lift it up a little bit. I'll show you here. This is one of my philodendron micans or micans. Has beautiful leaves. Obviously, it's a trailing plant. I am to the point now where I could just barely lift it, and I can tell by the weight of the pot if it needs water or not. That's the easiest way. Now I'll show you some other ways, but that's usually what I do. So I can already tell by lifting that, and I have in my brain before I touch it how heavy I think it should feel. And if you kind of go, whoa, okay, that was a lot lighter than I thought, then it needs water. You also see I have all of my little plant trays, all different plant trays. I like to bottom water my indoor plants. Now, if it's outside and you're using a water hose or it's something that's in the ground, obviously that's not an option and it doesn't matter. But I find if you water from the top, I feel like your plant is basically forced to get a lot more water than maybe it needs. So I bottom water all my plants. If they're little tiny guys like these guys, I don't bother like draining the water out because I'll do a little bit at a time and I wait. It goes all the way down and I add some more. But if it's a bigger potted plant, I bottom water because then my plant could show me the excess that it didn't want to pull up through the pot. And then after an hour or so, depending on the size of the pot, then I dump out the excess. So I can already tell this one doesn't need water because as I'm lifting it, it's still really, really heavy to the touch. So I'm like, nope, she doesn't need water yet. The next thing you can do that's really easy, where you don't have to like shove stuff down in the pot or use a meter or any of these other crazy things, is look at the color of the dirt. Okay, like, okay, yes, Sarah, dirt is brown. Yes, you're right, it's always brown. But can you tell the difference between dirt that's wet, right? You can see by looking at it that it's pretty much black because it's saturated versus dirt that's a lot lighter brown. So if I go up and look, and I do put cinnamon on my plants because it's an antifungal and antimicrobial. But if I look, the dirt that's there is still really, really dark. It looks wet. It looks like it's saturated. So that's another way for me to tell. I can tell without even looking. At least to my eye. I think by looking through my phone, it looks lighter. But if I don't look at the orchid bark, but I look at the actual soil that's in this pot, this one also does not need water yet. So again, when in doubt, if you're not sure, wait an extra day, because waterlogging your plants, giving them too much water, it's like you ask for a glass of water and someone dumps a gallon of water on you and you're sputtering and spitting and you can't get your breath. That's kind of what happens with your plants. Okay. The next thing you can do that I think is a lot easier than getting a moisture meter and all that crazy stuff is I'll go grab one from the drawer and I'll show you, but it's using a chopstick or a toothpick or you can use a skewer, something that's wood, that's slender, and you're gonna shove it down in the edge of your pot. Now I'll show you how I do this, but it's kind of like those of you who bake, if you're testing the doneness of your cake, you can tell it's done by nothing sticks to the stick, right? It comes out clean when you poke it. It's the same idea here. If it comes out clean, that means your plant is totally dry and it needs water. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're back. And I'm gonna go back to the same philodendron right here from earlier. I'm gonna open my blinds a little bit, but let's see if I am correct. So just by me barely like tipping the pot a little bit, in my mind, it does not need water. So I'm gonna show you, you have a couple of options. Here's chopsticks from your local Chinese place, your takeout place. Or you can use something little like a toothpick. The point is that you get it pretty far down into the pot so you can see all the way towards the bottom. Now, I will caution you on this if you're sticking stuff down in with the roots. On the one hand, if you break one root on the plant, it's not gonna kill the plant. However, I'm not dying to like break the roots just for the heck of it. So I like to get in the very, I know this angle is terrible, towards the very edge of the pot, not right in the middle where I'm more likely to bust some roots. So I'm gonna go down as far as I can, and you don't have to let it sit, like literally just for a second. Okay, see how there's soil sticking to it? Let me get over here so it's easier to see. See how there's some soil sticking to it? Not a lot. So this plant will probably be ready for water in the next 2 days. For the last clip, I actually wanted to come over here to my big old pothos that are back over here by the back door. So the last thing I wanted to show you, let me know in the comments if you've tried this with plants other than pothos, because this is what I have observed with these guys. Now, pothos are super chill plants. They can live in like tropical humid environments, but they're also like super, super easy. They're great in terrariums and in aquariums and all of these things. And another thing you can do if you're not sure if your plant needs water, right? And let's say you've already looked at the soil, you've tried like lifting up the pot and you're still not sure. There are certain plants that you can squeeze or bend, right? Not bend to like break a leaf, because leaves cannot heal, but you kind of squeeze it like this and you see how springy it is. Okay, now I know that's kind of like not really scientific, Sarah, and not very technical, but I can tell this pothos does not need water because all of its leaves look really healthy and lush and full. And if I try to squeeze it, it springs back. That's because there is still enough water molecules in these leaves that it doesn't look all crusty and dusty and wrinkly. It's kind of the same thing as moisturizing your skin. If your skin is really moisturized, then it's not gonna be ashy, it's not gonna feel dry, it's gonna be nice and lush and have that moisture in it. So if you're not sure and you wanna do just a quick check, I'm gonna kind of walk around and see if I can find a plant that needs to be watered, and then I can show you the difference. But these leaves are all really full. Nobody is wilted, nobody is wrinkling, nobody is just acting like it doesn't have any spring back. So that's a way for you to see more of what the water content is in the leaves, but it's another way for you to quickly check without you having to grab a whole bunch of tools and without you having to buy anything, because I hate telling you guys to buy stuff. So this pothos is good to go. This is El Grandote. This is my huge old one. I've had this guy, oh my God, at least 10 or 12 years. So I don't know if you can tell, he is not nearly as springy as my neon who's down here. So he is a huge, gigantic pot. So I need to go and check. I only water him about once every 2 or 3 weeks, but it's summer, it's really hot. So maybe he needs to be watered. I don't know how well you can tell the difference. Again, I know this isn't like really quantifiable. It's not measurable. It's just more of your feeling. But me squeezing this one, there's not a lot of spring back nearly as much as this neon that's right here. To me, it feels way different. So those are a whole bunch of ways that you can check and see if houseplants or potted plants need to be watered. I'm sure there are other great methods that are down below that I didn't think of. So I hope this was helpful. Again, through the rest of 2026 and going into 2027, I'm hoping to keep putting more video content on the channel for the all things green and growing that has to do with mostly houseplants, but I'll be showing you how I'm fixing a flower bed here in Texas as we get into the cooler weather. October is the best time to plant outside if you are in zone 8B like I am here in Texas. I'll be overwintering some wildflower seeds, cleaning up some other things, but I hope that you guys are doing well. As always, keep the conversation going down below in the comments, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.